When we think of World War II, we picture tanks, battleships, and epic battles. But there was another, quieter war, one fought not with weapons, but against the relentless cold. For millions, survival meant battling freezing nights in bombed-out homes and shelters. The enemy was winter itself, and victory was simply making it to morning. With fuel scarce and infrastructure destroyed, warmth became a daily struggle. People turned their homes into laboratories of invention, finding new ways to keep the cold at bay. This was a war of resourcefulness, where ordinary people became heroes through creativity. Their legacy isn't in monuments, but in the clever inventions that helped them endure. The story of survival in winter reminds us, sometimes creativity is the greatest strength. Bombs and bullets weren't the only killers. Winter itself claimed countless lives. In freezing shelters, the cold was a silent predator, threatening the vulnerable every night. Prolonged exposure weakened immune systems, making illnesses like pneumonia deadly. Frostbite and hypothermia were constant threats, especially for the young and elderly. The psychological toll was immense. Warmth became a symbol of hope. Even a warm drink or dry socks could mean the difference between despair and endurance. With traditional heating gone, people had to invent new ways to stay warm. Every scrap of fuel was precious, every solution a testament to ingenuity. The fight against cold forced ordinary people to become extraordinary problem solvers. Their innovations kept the flame of hope alive through the harshest winters. Out of necessity, the heat candle was born, a simple, brilliant invention. Known as the Hindenburg Light in Germany, it was more than just a candle. It was a lifeline. Built from basic materials, it generated consistent, long-lasting heat. Unlike ordinary candles, it used a container and a wick to burn liquid or semi-liquid fuel. The design was stable and safe, crucial in crowded shelters. Anyone could make one, turning scavenged fuel into precious warmth. The heat candle's glow was a beacon of resilience and comfort in the darkest times. It proved that even the smallest inventions could make a world of difference. The genius of the heat candle was in its fuel. Nothing was wasted. Animal fat, once discarded, became as valuable as gold. People melted down old candle stubs, used paraffin or kerosene, and even soaked sawdust to create fuel blocks. Wicks were made from cotton rags, newspaper or cardboard, whatever could draw up the melted fat. Every family collected scraps, transforming waste into survival tools. This was everyday alchemy, turning the unwanted into the essential. Invention became an act of defiance, proving that creativity could conquer scarcity. A single heat candle offered modest warmth, but people soon realized the power of many. By grouping several candles under an overturned flower pot or metal bucket, they created a makeshift heater. The setup trapped and radiated heat, warming a room far more effectively. The science was simple. Convection and radiation turned small flames into a collective force. This method was safer too, containing open flames and reducing fire risk. Families gathered around these improvised heaters, finding comfort and community. It was a powerful example of how collective action could overcome even the harshest cold. Sometimes survival is about combining small efforts for a greater good. Making a wartime heat candle is simple, but requires care. Start with a small, wide metal tin or glass jar, something stable and heat-resistant. Melt animal fat or lard, then pour it into the container and let it solidify. Use a strip of cotton fabric as a wick, pushing it through the solid fat. Prime the wick with a bit of melted fat for easy lighting. Light the wick. The flame will slowly melt the fat, fueling itself for hours. This device, built from scraps, is a direct link to wartime ingenuity. It's a reminder that survival often depends on simple practical skills. But always remember, safety comes first when working with open flames. The heat candle is both a piece of history and a lesson in resilience. These inventions saved lives, but they came with real dangers. Fire was the most obvious risk. One knocked-over candle could mean disaster. Candles were always placed on non-flammable surfaces, away from flammable materials. Carbon monoxide poisoning was a hidden threat in poorly ventilated shelters. Flames consume oxygen and can produce deadly gases if air is scarce. Smoke and soot from improvised fuels could cause respiratory problems. People balanced the risk of freezing against the dangers of fire and fumes. They used cleaner burning fats and ensured some ventilation, even in the cold. Today, we can learn from their caution, never leave flames unattended, and always allow fresh air. Survival is about managing risks as much as finding solutions. The heat candle story is more than history. It's a lesson in resilience and resourcefulness. In a world of convenience, we often forget the basic skills that once meant survival. The heat candle teaches us to see potential in the ordinary and value in what others discard. Its design shows how understanding simple science can save lives. The wartime mindset of waste not, want not is relevant in today's world of sustainability challenges. Learning practical skills, like building a heater or purifying water, connects us to our roots. These forgotten inventions remind us that ingenuity thrives in adversity. The legacy of the heat candle is a celebration of quiet heroism and community. By remembering and sharing these stories, we honour those who endured and prepare ourselves for whatever challenges may come. Sometimes the smallest flame can light the way through the darkest times.